What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel here from the GeekSpeakNation channel, and I am excitedly here to talk about the PlayStation 5. So, the console wars are about to heat up. The time has almost arrived. It is almost time for the reveal of the PlayStation 5. Recently, Sony went out and they had this little teaser trailer kind of play, and on June 4th, I believe the date is, at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's gonna be like 4 p.m. for me. I'm like, 1 p.m. West Coast time, so it'd be like 4 p.m. Eastern. Either way, doesn't matter. The point is that they're gonna have a reveal event for the PlayStation 5, and it is going to be an hour long, which is totally awesome. I am incredibly excited to see what next gen is going to be capable of, especially when we had that massive showcase of the whole entire in-engine gameplay or in-engine footage of what Unreal Engine 5 is going to look like, which you just know that looking at the progress of Unreal Engine 4, you know that people are going to take that technology and take it light years beyond what we thought it was capable of, which is absolutely fantastic. And I think the biggest thing that can't be understated about this next generation of consoles is not necessarily seeing the, this big expansion in like graphical fidelity of like everything needs to run at 8K, 144 frames per second. No, consoles are never going to be able to reach that. All right, you're just going to be better off with a PC in that regard. But what games are going to be capable of in their processing capabilities and being able to condense extreme amounts of data onto these consoles and all these ray tracing devices and these solid state drives are going to be super critical in the performance of these games. And I think that's the number one thing we're going to be able to hopefully see in this reveal event is going to be just the power and of what the PlayStation 5 can do and what type of performance we're going to be getting out of these games. The number one thing that's setting PlayStation 5 apart right now from the Xbox is they are not going to be willing to compromise when it comes to PlayStation. Xbox has made it very clear that they are very concerned about making sure that they migrate over as many people as possible from Xbox One over to the Xbox Series X, and they don't want to alienate, like I said, any of that fan base. However, the PlayStation has come out and said they're not really concerned about that. They want PlayStation 5 games to run on PlayStation 5, but they do not have to run on PlayStation 4, which is a huge statement, because essentially what they're saying is that they don't want the future to be held back by the past, right? All PlayStation 4 games are gonna have to run on PlayStation 5 moving forward, but not all PlayStation 5 games are gonna have to play on PlayStation 4. And I think that is a huge statement that sets a massive precedent for how this current generation is gonna go. And I think people are actually gonna be surprised with how much gameplay we're actually gonna end up seeing. Especially after Xbox's debacle with their gameplay presentation, and it was nothing but a lot of in-game footage, trailers, and all that sort of stuff. But I think people are going to be pretty surprised to see how many things have been pretty well kept under wraps, and just how many projects have already been underway for this current generation of consoles. And I think they're going to be starting off this next gen of consoles a lot stronger than they did with PlayStation 4. Because I mean, at launch of the PlayStation 4, you had what? Killzone, Shadow Strike Lords, whatever that game was. And then you had like, what else was it? It was Infamous Second Son, and that was mainly it. Knack. I think that was a thing as well. But really, you didn't have too many exclusives at the start of it. And the big thing with Xbox is that they want, their flagship titles like Halo Infinite are going to be on both Xbox Series X and also Xbox One. So you're going to be limiting the potential of the game, more than likely going to be limiting it to like 30 frames per second. You're going to be limiting the resolution as compared to something like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or getting the glimpse of the next God of War, something like that, yada. All this sort of stuff is going to be focused on giving you the best potential game possible, because it's trying not to be held back by the last gen's hardware. Overall, I would say when it comes to the PlayStation 5, the number one thing that I'm definitely going to be looking for is seeing how consumer friendly of a route they're going to end up going, because so far I'm not sure if they're going to be setting themselves up for being that way. Xbox, there's the big rumor that after PlayStation has their reveal event, that Xbox is going to come out and then they're going to announce that they're going to have a lower price system that's not going to have as many bells and whistles as the Xbox Series X's bigger version is, but it's going to be more cost efficient, all that sort of stuff, probably discless maybe or something like that. But they're going to have this cheaper version, and they're going to make it more affordable. They're really going to push their Game Pass, their exclusivity when it comes to PC games being over on Xbox as well, and vice versa. You really do get your bang for your buck when you go at Xbox more than you do with PlayStation, in my personal opinion. Even though I am a big old Sony pony, whatever, big PlayStation fanboy, all that jazz. You really do get a much better bang for your buck for what you get for your membership when it comes over to Xbox. And they have made it very strong and very clear over at Microsoft that they are trying to support making sure that all your games are able to translate over to the next generation of consoles, or in some way, shape, or form having a form of backwards compatibility. Now, one of the biggest points of contention with the PlayStation 4 is, it's a lack of backwards compatibility, and PlayStation now just not being anywhere, being light years behind the service that is, Xbox's Game Pass, right? So when we look at the PlayStation 5 and we're talking about, being a very consumer-friendly console, I don't mind paying a higher price for a console that performs fantastically, but also I want that ecosystem to be very consumer-friendly as well. If we could somehow see a transferring of a digital library, maybe even for a small fee or something like that, but being able to not only have our discs be compatible, whether it's from PlayStation 1, 2, 3, or 4, moving it over to PlayStation 5, but if we can somehow have a transference of our digital library from PlayStation 4 carry on over, that would be a massive, massive jump, and that'd be a massive, massive leg up for PlayStation. Now, it is heavily rumored that PlayStation 5 is going to have some form of backwards compatibility, and that they're going to be really driving this home in their presentations, because they know that was something that people were not a fan of not having last generation. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really, really hope they end up having that, because to me, that would be the crux that says, okay, PlayStation 5 is all about moving forward and moving ahead with the games that are going to be coming out exclusively for that console, right? Whether it's exclusively for PlayStation or exclusively for next gen, they're not going to worry about making a PlayStation 4 port of their games and all that sort of stuff for new games coming up. If they want to make it specifically for PlayStation 5. However, this would show that they're not afraid to support those people who've been supporting all of their previous generations of their consoles by allowing backwards compatibility. To me, this is the number one key feature that I want from the PlayStation 5. I want to be able to take my PlayStation 4 games and bring it over, maybe pick up some PlayStation 3, 2, or maybe even 1 based off of some patents. Now, these are some patents that did come out, and be able to get this stuff working on a PlayStation 5. But if I could somehow also transfer over part of my digital library from PlayStation 4, dude, that is pure bang for your buckaroonies right there. Even though those are some of the features that I end up wanting, I really think in this presentation that's coming up, we're really not going to see a lot of talk about hardware, any of that stuff, not too much talk about backwards compatibility, all that jazz, because they had their GDC conference that got delayed, and then they released that video later on talking about their hardware, what they're going to be offering, for developers, all that sort of stuff has been well documented up to this point. Now I truly think the time to shine is on the developers themselves and the games they're going to be putting out. I really think if you're just going to be seeing probably out of the 60 minutes, I'd say about 45 minutes of probably nothing but gameplay, trailers, and hype, all that sort of stuff. I think that's mostly what we're going to be seeing. And I think that's going to be the best thing for PlayStation 4 is just them setting themselves apart and saying, look, Xbox says it, but we have the games. We are bringing them to you coming this fall. This is coming at launch. This is coming later. Like I said, the big thing I think you're probably going to end up seeing, you're going to see what I always forget the name of the people who make Horizon Zero Dawn, Guerrilla. Oh God, what is their names? Oh yeah, Guerrilla Games. There we go. I was like, it's Guerrilla something. Their name is Guerrilla something. Their name's Guerrilla Games. A lot of people are also speculating that since some time has passed, that we might be getting a look at God of War 2. I'd say Probably, definitely, most certainly not. I think it's going to be quite some time before we end up seeing more about the next God of War entry. But I say it'd actually probably be more likely that you end up seeing something about the next Spider-Man, or at least a hint about the next Spider-Man. If anything, you might get like a small, now in development teaser for God of War 2, but I think we're more likely to see something for the next Spider-Man game and an official reveal for Horizon Zero Dawn 2 than we are going to be seeing for a lot of other stuff. But overall, I think the element of surprise is definitely in their hands to see what's going to be going on, and to see just how many different types of games they're going to be promoting and revealing at this event is going to be really, really important and really, really crucial, because they just want to appeal to as many gamers as possible. They just want to drive home the point. We are here to play games, and that's what matters most. And just keep the leg up that they already got going on from this current generation of consoles. And again, hopefully try to focus on being a little bit more consumer friendly with backwards compatibility, and then also offering people more bang for your buck in a service like PlayStation Now or something like that as well. And also digital backwards compatibility. That would be my like #1 dream list thing that I would like for this current generation of consoles. Next generation of consoles. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you want to know about in the comment sections down below, or just in general my thoughts on PlayStation 5, or what game do you want to see revealed. I'm hoping for a Sly Cooper reboot, even though that will probably never happen, and it breaks my heart to say it out loud. But it's okay. Dreams will give us hope. But if you have a more realistic thought for what game could be showing up at the PlayStation 5 reveal event, let me know in the comment section down below. And also, while you're down there, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to become a part of the GeekSpeakNation channel, where you get more content like this. And on top of that, if you are new here, make sure you do hit that bell notification and set it to all to make sure that you actually get notified of when I post a video, because YouTube does not like my channel and thinks it's dead and does not care about it. So what can you do? Yeah, guys, thank you so much. I'm Daniel, and don't forget to get geeky.